Have you ever heard stories so incredible that they seem like they could only exist in movies? Well, get ready, because I'm about to share some of the most mind-blowing true stories that actually happened in real life. These aren't Hollywood scripts or urban legends, they're real events that showcase just how extraordinary our world can be. From tales of miraculous survival against impossible odds, to moments of incredible human courage and determination, to coincidences so perfect they defy explanation, truth really is stranger than fiction. These stories remind us that reality can be more fascinating than anything we could dream up. So sit back, because what you're about to hear isn't from someone's imagination, it's from the pages of history itself. And sometimes the most unbelievable stories are the ones that actually happened.
1. The Man Who Fell from Space. Felix Baumgartner, 2012. Picture this. October 14, 2012. A tiny capsule dangles 24 miles above Earth, where the sky turns black, and you can see the curve of our planet. Inside stands Felix Baumgartner, his heart pounding, about to attempt something many thought was impossible. The door opens. The world holds its breath. Felix takes one step and plunges into the void. He's falling faster than anyone has ever fallen before. Faster than a commercial jet. Faster than most military aircraft. At 834 miles per hour, Felix does something incredible. He breaks the sound barrier. Just think about that. A human body traveling faster than the speed of sound. No plane, no rocket, just a man in a pressure suit, hurtling through near space. For 4 minutes and 20 seconds, Felix free falls through the stratosphere, fighting intense spinning that could have knocked him unconscious. The air gets thicker, the Earth rushes up to meet him, and finally, his parachute deploys. 9 minutes after stepping off the edge of space, Felix lands safely on his feet in New Mexico. In those moments, he didn't just set records, he showed us that sometimes, the craziest dreams are the ones worth chasing.
2. The Great Escape. World War II Prison Break 1944. In the dark days of World War II, one of the most daring prison breaks ever attempted unfolded at Stalag Luft 3. Imagine using nothing but makeshift tools, spoons from the mess hall, bedboards turned into support beams, and whatever else these brave men could get their hands on. 76 Allied airmen, pushed to their limits by captivity, spent months meticulously digging a tunnel they nicknamed Harry. This wasn't just digging, it was an elaborate operation. They created an entire underground workshop, crafting civilian clothes from blankets, forging German documents with incredible detail, and even making compasses from melted phonograph records. The tunnel itself was a marvel of improvised engineering, stretching over 300 feet beyond the camp's boundaries. The prisoners had to solve countless problems: how to dispose of tons of dirt without being noticed, how to pump air into the tunnel, and how to keep their massive operation secret from their German guards. On that cold March night in 1944, these men crawled through their narrow escape route to freedom. While most were eventually recaptured, their incredible feat of ingenuity and determination became legendary, showing that the human spirit can't be confined by barbed wire and guard towers.
3. Ernest Shackleton's Antarctic Survival 1914-1917. Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into an incredible tale of resilience and leadership that will inspire you. In 1914, Ernest Shackleton set sail for Antarctica, but his expedition took a harrowing turn when his ship, the Endurance, became trapped in ice. For 2 grueling years, Shackleton and his crew of 27 faced unimaginable challenges, battling freezing temperatures and the threat of starvation. What makes this story truly epic is not just their struggle for survival, but the unwavering spirit Shackleton instilled in his men. Against all odds, they endured, showcasing the power of teamwork and determination. When the time came, Shackleton led them on a daring 7-mile journey across treacherous seas to safety. Remarkably, every single crew member returned home alive. This extraordinary adventure reminds us that even in the darkest moments, hope and courage can light the way. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this story inspiring, don't forget to follow for more incredible life stories.
4. The Girl Who Survived a Plane Crash. Juliane Koepcke. 1971. Imagine falling from the sky, plummeting 10,000 feet through a thunderstorm, and somehow surviving. This isn't a movie plot. This is the incredible true story of Juliane Koepcke. On Christmas Eve 1971, 17-year-old Juliane boarded LANSA Flight 508 with her mother in Peru. What should have been a routine flight turned into a nightmare when lightning struck the plane, tearing it apart mid-air. Still strapped to her seat row, Juliane plunged through the Amazon canopy. She woke up the next morning, alone, injured, but miraculously alive. The only survivor among 91 passengers. But surviving the fall was just the beginning. With a broken collarbone and deep cuts, Juliane faced an even greater challenge, staying alive in one of the world's most dangerous jungles. For 11 grueling days, she pushed through dense vegetation, followed streams, and battled infections. Using survival skills her father had taught her, she finally reached civilization. Juliane's story isn't just about luck. It's about the incredible resilience of the human spirit. Sometimes life's most devastating moments reveal just how strong we really are. 5. The kid who escaped North Korea, Yeonmi. Park imagined 13 years old and having to make a choice, stay in a brutal dictatorship or risk everything for freedom. That was the reality for Yeonmi Park, a North Korean girl who refused to accept the fate handed to her. Growing up in North Korea, Yeonmi lived in a world where simple freedoms we take for granted, like watching foreign movies or speaking your mind, could get you killed. But she dreamed of something more. One freezing night in 2007, Yeonmi and her mother made their desperate bid for freedom. They crossed the treacherous Yalu River into China, but their journey was far from over. They had to traverse the merciless Gobi Desert, facing starvation, human traffickers, and the constant fear of being caught and sent back. Against all odds, this brave teenager made it to South Korea. But instead of just settling into her new life of freedom, Yeonmi chose to fight for those she left behind. Today, she's become one of the most powerful voices exposing North Korea's brutal regime. Think about it. From a scared 13-year-old girl to a global human rights activist speaking at the UN. Yeonmi Park's story isn't just about escape. It's about having the courage to stand up and fight for what's right, no matter the cost. Sortia, the blind man who sailed across the ocean, Miles Hilton Barber imagined being surrounded by complete darkness, yet daring to cross vast oceans and continents. This is the incredible story of Miles Hilton Barber, a man who refused to let blindness clip his wings. In 2007, Miles embarked on what many would consider impossible, flying a microlight aircraft from London to Sydney. Now picture this, you're thousands of feet in the air, can't see a thing, and your life depends entirely on instrument readings and verbal guidance from your co-pilot. The journey wasn't just about getting from point A to point B, it was about shattering perceptions of what people with disabilities can achieve. Through thunderstorms, across deserts, and over mountains, Miles proved that limitations exist only in our minds. What makes this story even more remarkable is that Miles lost his sight in his 20s. Instead of giving up, he transformed his disability into a platform for inspiration. His message? The biggest handicap in life isn't physical disability, it's the limitations we place on ourselves. Today, Miles continues to inspire millions, showing that with courage, determination, and trust in others, we can achieve what seems impossible. His journey wasn't just a flight across continents. It was a testament to the boundless human spirit.
7. Apollo 13 NASA's successful failure 1970. Picture this. April 1970. 3 astronauts soaring through space, headed for the moon. Everything seems perfect until those infamous words crackle through NASA's radio. Houston, we've had a problem. An oxygen tank had just exploded on Apollo 13, turning what should have been NASA's third moon landing into a desperate fight for survival. The spacecraft was bleeding oxygen, losing power, and 200,000 miles from Earth. But here's where it gets incredible. Instead of panicking, NASA's engineers and the crew turned into real-life MacGyvers. They had to figure out how to get 3 astronauts home in a damaged spacecraft using only the materials they had on board. They transformed the lunar module, basically a moon taxi, into a lifeboat. The crew squeezed into a space the size of a closet, rationing power like they were counting pennies, and breathing air so cold they could see their own breath. For 4 days, the world held its breath. Would they make it? Against all odds, through ingenuity, courage, and a bit of duct tape, yes, actual duct tape, Apollo 13 splashed down safely in the Pacific Ocean. NASA calls it their successful failure. I call it one of the greatest comeback stories in human history. Sometimes the most epic victories aren't about reaching the moon, they're about making it back home.
Enjoying the video, correct? Make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Please leave your feedback, hit like, share the content.
Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into the inspiring story of Sandeep Desai, a former professor who took an extraordinary path to make a difference in the world. Imagine trading your comfortable life for the streets, not for despair, but to ignite hope. That's exactly what Sandeep did. He became a street beggar, but his mission was far from ordinary. With every coin he collected, he was raising funds to build schools in rural India, where education is a precious gift often out of reach. Sandeep's dedication has transformed countless lives, proving that one person's actions can create a ripple effect of change. His journey reminds us that compassion knows no boundaries, and that sometimes the most unconventional paths lead to the most profound impact. If Sandeep's story resonates with you, consider supporting education initiatives in your community. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more uplifting stories that inspire change.
9. The man who sold the Eiffel Tower twice. Victor Lustig. Picture this. Paris, 1925. The Eiffel Tower stands tall and proud, a symbol of French ingenuity. But for one man, it was the opportunity of a lifetime, not to admire it, but to sell it. Meet Victor Lustig, perhaps the most audacious con artist in history. When he noticed a newspaper article about the tower's maintenance costs, a brilliant yet devious idea struck him. Posing as a government official, he invited 6 scrap metal dealers to a secret meeting at a prestigious hotel. With fake government documents and an Oscar-worthy performance, Lustig convinced them that the Eiffel Tower was to be dismantled and sold for scrap. One dealer, André Poisson, took the bait, paying a hefty bribe to secure the exclusive deal. But here's the kicker. After successfully pulling off this outrageous scam and fleeing with the money, Lustig returned to Paris a month later and did it again. Different dealer, same con. The sheer boldness of his scheme was so incredible that it's still studied in criminal psychology today. The man who sold the Eiffel Tower twice, a testament to the power of confidence and a reminder that if something seems too good to be true, it probably involves a smooth-talking con artist named Victor Lustig. 10. Jessica Cox, the pilot born with no arms. Have you ever thought something was truly impossible? Let me tell you about Jessica Cox, a woman who completely redefines what's possible. Born without arms due to a rare birth defect, Jessica could have easily accepted the limitations others saw in her. But she had different plans. Imagine learning to fly a plane, managing the controls, handling the throttle, navigating through the skies. Now imagine doing all of that with just your feet. Sounds impossible, right? Well, that's exactly what Jessica did. In 2008, after years of intense training and unwavering determination, Jessica Cox became the world's first licensed armless pilot. She operates a light sport aircraft, controlling every aspect of the plane with her feet, proving that the human spirit knows no bounds. But flying isn't her only achievement. She drives a car, plays the piano, types on a keyboard, and even holds a black belt in Taekwondo, all with her feet. Jessica's story isn't just about becoming a pilot. It's about challenging our assumptions about what's possible. The next time you think something's impossible, remember Jessica Cox soaring through the clouds, steering with one foot and operating the throttle with the other, showing us that limitations only exist in our minds.